Right, so in a massive surprise to pretty much nobody, there's a fair bit of hype surrounding tomorrow and the release of the second episode of the amazing digital Circus. Problem is, a lot of people don't have time to go through every teaser and frame in the trailer to figure out what's going on. Some people watching this didn't even realise there was a trailer out yet. Lucky for you, I have no life and watched all of it. So here is everything you need to know about the amazing digital Circus before episode 2. First up, let's get a recap of the pilot so we can remember what we're actually watching here. Our main character, Pomni, is transported into a digital circus after putting on a mysterious headset that exists despite the technology here looking like it's from 1990. She stumbles about a bit before running into the rest of our cast. Quite literally. We have Jax, incredibly narcissistic, and the latest top-quality performance from Michael Kovac, Ragatha, the only totally sane character here who is somehow deciding to stay positive despite this situation, Zubul, who is doing the exact opposite, Gangle, who has anxiety beyond even the fans of this show, Kinga, who constantly acts like he has ingested every drug known to man, and Kane, ringmaster, AI, and controller of the circus. Kane introduces the random challenge for today, and Pomni, Jax, and Ragatha immediately ignore it to somewhat detrimental results. Zubul gets pulled apart because that's a thing that can happen, with Kinga and Gangle being tasked to save her. That goes about as well as you'd expect. Pomni leaves Ragatha to die before finding an exit door. And another one. And another. And, well, you get the gist. Jax runs off back to Tweedledee and Tweedledum and helps them find Zubul and the Gloink Queen. Before they can actually get a chance to do anything, however, Cosmo shows up and beats the hell out of it, letting them escape. Pomni finally reaches the end of the doors and is taken to the void before being saved by Kane and reaching the conclusion of the episode. Right, so now that we're caught up on the past, what are the plans for the future? Well, there's a few pieces of information we can go off of here. First is the community posts. Glitch started making posts about Digital Circus about a week after the release of the Murder Drones training video. We have a Powerpuff Girls reference, the end of a friendship bonding montage set to some cheesy music, a hole from that one Golf with Friends map,
I'm not crazy.
accurate depictions of me trying to make anything without a recipe, and a colorized version of the French Revolution. That is to say, we're in Candyland for this episode, which, while not very helpful by itself, can tell us a few things about the show in general. Number 1. There are other things in the void beside our main island since this place obviously isn't on it, which means that number 2, Kane is working on things that the characters don't know about. Now that's interesting, but not the main piece of information we get about this episode. That would be the trailer. Up next on the amazing digital Circus. Side note, at the time of me writing this promotional video has more views than Murder Drones episode 7. The trailer opens with Kane giving a voiceover of the title card, followed by our characters being transported through a portal to the Candy Canyon Kingdom. Gangle manages to find herself a new comedy mask, which will almost certainly be broken immediately, while Ragatha appears to have taken her place as the crybaby for this episode. Pomni looks nervous as normal, and the second half of the cast is absent for some reason. Now, ignoring how flat this landscape is, we have some castle walls and a elephant? Drawn chariot here. This shot that shows up for like 5 frames is our first view of Jax and Kinga, who are driving the carriage. Someone must have lied about something because the cast are being welcomed into the gates with a full celebration and a metric ton of randomizer challenge NPCs. And there goes the comedy mask. Surprisingly not caused by the flintlock Jax just pulled out of nowhere. We cut back to the start of the episode for a second for Pomni to give us this cross-eyed stare before all the Murder Drones fans are given some PTSD. That's not how physics works. And now the desert setting is justified by turning the episode into Mad Max Candy Road. This is very confusing because that lady does not look like an NPC, but every person that's ever been transported, that we know of, has landed in the circus, so either Kane really fleshed out this character, or something real strange has happened with her. The latter part of this trailer is repeats of the same ideas and action scenes, but there is one thing I want to note. We get a shot of one of the trucks about to be swallowed by something that was hinted at before even the announcement of episode 7 of Murder Drones. It's this guy. Fudge Monster. And yes, he is made out of fudge. We also have some ominous falling and hints to more characters, but nobody cares about that. Can you tell I've been sick all week? I sure can. So, here's my basic plot structure for this episode. We start back at the digital circus. Ragatha is traumatized as hell from the last episode and does not want to deal with this right now. Pomni feels kinda bad, but doesn't get to apologize properly because the funny mouth man shows up and shoves them into a portal with no sense of direction other than civilization looks like it's that way. They meet up with Discount Princess Bubblegum and do some regal nonsense until someone, probably Jax, does something to piss her off and they are chased off by a horde of angry figure references. They eventually get away via an oil truck that makes absolutely no sense but are quickly hunted down by the Lollyraptors in an attempt to make an inverted version of Jurassic Park. Having run them off the road, the sun sets and nobody notices Fudge Monster until he is way too close. Swallowing occurs, followed by mild panic, potential abstraction, and Kane finally deciding to show up and fix all the problems he caused, before ending the episode giving Pomni some condescending shoulder pats. Hope you enjoy the episode, have a good one, I'm going to bed.